Uh, Shout out to Phantom Clutch for motivating me to make this video. Is because you know a lot of people are on this false sense of that the number of other races of women and the kind of mentality that comes with them is kind of like it's people trying to destroy SYSBM because a lot of people misinterpret and don't try to understand what we mean when we say dating options or SYSBM and they like black men, right? And even the people who talk about SYSBM positively don't really try to tell you and break it down to your point and telling you like you're the percentage wise of black men dating out, especially the piece of pie of dating for black men, is about at least 49% at best, I think. Or I can give it 50%. For white dudes, it's a lot higher, being 80%, or I can give it 90%. For the obvious reasons was black men have a lot of bad perception and bad optics. Also, we're always put into a certain box. And I'm going to break that down for everybody to understand when they approach and want to date other races of women, you got to look out for certain things, just like you got to look out for things in American women and in black women as well. But it's not as prevalent and worse as it is with them. But it's still there, right? So so you have certain type of women who wants to go to black men. And I'm going to break it down to you, right? The first one are the BBC myth. Everybody, they have put us in a stranglehold, and this comes from certain people who always bragging about their stick, and they're like, oh yeah, black man, Asian guys are small, and that white guy have a small this and this and that. It's a generated of bullshit that they're putting these myths out there. I know that's the white guys in the adult industry that are bigger than me, and I'm like, okay, you're bigger than me. But the whole myth is they're trying to box you into a point. They try to box you into a point of being just a slab of meat for people to consume and for you not to get out that box. And it also makes people the thing for you to stay where you at. So the fact is, if you don't have a so-called whopping BBC, then you have to stay with a woman who is going to give you next to anything or nothing, and you should be happy with what you get. And on top of that, you gotta be happy getting it, and you have to please her because you have to make up for what you have. Asian guys don't have to make up for what they got. They're not told that. Indian guys don't have to make up for what they got. They're not told that. A lot of men in other countries and other nationalities are not told that they have to make up for what they don't have. They're not judged based off their size down there. They're judged off other things outside the bedroom. But for some reason, as I said before, the self-sabotaging of black people, black people, black men and black women, like to self-sabotage so black men don't go nowhere. Now, a lot of guys on here will say stuff like, you know, you gonna end up with a black woman and blah blah blah. They usually know, no, it's dating other races is not for the faint of hearts. You're not gonna be able to get away with saying black jokes. You're not gonna be able to get away with saying racist jokes, like saying ching chong and all that other stuff that you be saying and the stuff. You're gonna have to cut that all out. You're gonna have to censor a lot of stuff because you're around another group of people. Just like how they go to censor how their people talk because you're around. Even if you give the okay, they're not gonna sit there and badmouth you because they gotta watch their mouth. But a lot of dudes, they're comfortable with the dysfunction until they get to the last straw, and then they don't want to improve themselves socially in order to fit into another group of people, or to be able to fit into a group of people where it's not dysfunctional. Learn another language, learn the cues, the yes and no's, learn how their character flaws so they can suppress that and don't deal with it. They want to stay they want to stay. They want to keep the bad flaws they have and think that their good flaws is going to make sure that they can get into another race. But the difference between the black race and other races is that they have men gatekeepers. And if the men are not feeling you, then 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get nowhere near the women. Unless you are a backdoor guy. Meaning that they don't want to be seen with you. They will sleep with you, but they don't want to see with you in their family functions, in pictures. You would never be a person that would take pictures with her. At all. And when she do get married to a person of her race, you're going to be gone. So you're going to have to bounce to the next one. They don't allow that whole cheating thing to go on in other countries like that. It goes on, but it's not high numbers. Because if they get caught, yeah, it's the end. You have people perpetuating the stereotypes of the BBC myth, and they keep going and going and going and going. So it makes these women go for hunting because they gonna think if he take his pants down, she's gonna be able to get what she's seen in movies or what her friends told her about and all this other stuff. And you have to watch these people. You have to watch those particular females. Second, rebellious. Now, there's women that are sick of their dad's rules or sick of their rules at all. Or they're women who really want to show their parents that they're different, right? So they will find a good black guy that has the same kind of qualities as a white guy and bring him home just for them to say you're racist. The reason why the black and white interracial relationships don't work is because white women like to use black men as tools to get back at their fathers or at their mothers. They use black men as tools for sexual and for social. There was come to be that a lot of people didn't know that these people, shout out to Zero Stream, that a lot of these women are using Black Lives Matter as a cover to get black men. And also get back at their ancestors. So they would get with you in order to get back at their family. That's a dangerous game, and you don't want to be with a person who has a rebellion nature against her people, because she's gonna use you, and you're gonna be a piece of crap. I mean, you're gonna be a ragdoll or crash test dummy for her interests. Rejection. Now, there's different levels of rejection that a female has. Social rejection, that she just can't make the cut. There's 20 beautiful women and there's 5 ugly women, but they're not considered ugly by anybody else. So those 5 compared to her race of women are very unattractive. Doesn't matter if the nose or matter how small she is or whatever. It depends on the race and what the race of men actually think is attractive. Also, what you think is attractive. You get it with a chick who's a Blasian, who all her life she was considered a sexual tool, or she didn't want to put herself there, so she stayed single, or her she was living in Japan and she wanted to connect to a person who felt as much rejection as she did. So you share stories about how you and her been in the toughest times, and sometimes that puts you together. Or she didn't get a career that her parents wanted her to get, so they looked down on her because she didn't get those, she didn't get that, she didn't do this and she didn't do that. So the small rejections that this girl might have, just like you might have, might bring you together with her. And it depends. You will get a chick in this category that makes perfect marriage material, but you just can't go lower than that if it means that she's just been dogged out by every guy and she been with the white guys and she been doing this and that, and you're the last choice. You don't want to be in the same position that you're in when you came here in America, or you went to another race, you went to your own race, and they try to use you as last choice. You want to go to a person who is just someone who just don't fit in, because ain't nothing wrong with not fitting in. But when that person that don't fit in will, one, try to find someone else that's in their same category, or two, destroy their whole self just to fit in. So you're going to look for someone who is on the cusp of being rejected by her group of men, but there's nothing actually wrong with her, and she is pretty much marriage material. And a lot of guys, I talk to a lot of guys, they usually do marry women who they feel just like the men feel, because they were told that they were this and they were that and they were this and nothing was wrong with them. So it was something wrong with the people. And once they see once they see once they see that she's happy with another race, then they want her. Just like how it happens with black men, when black men are told that they're losers and they're small and stuff, and then they get with another race, and somehow, some way, it's like, oh my God, you why are you with her? And this and that. It's the same thing. It's mere reflections of each other. So that category of women, it's the percentage increases. You just got to know which one to get with. Status. Female status. So there's women out there of other races who will get with a guy for his status. It can be a small decimal of him being American. It could be a small thing of him just being different. But status don't mean you are a rich guy. Status might mean you're an American. Status might mean that you're somebody who has a consistency or something. It doesn't mean all the time that means you're rich or you have six figures. Because there's a lot of good dudes who are in relationships with other races of women, and they make $40,000 or $50,000. Some even make $30,000. The chick liked them for them, and she gets with him for the certain status of him not being hurt like the men that she used to. That's the status that I mean. Sometimes it's a so-called hypergamous, but it's not really hypergamous. It's like, no, I don't like these dudes. Not because I went through a whole bunch of them. It's the fact that I want someone who is going to make me feel good, ultra feel good, and this feeling isn't going to stop. So basically, it's making them feel like, if they get, some of the women are smart enough to know that if a dude is out here starving, sexually and beauty wise, she can actually give him. She can even give him the status, right? I mean, it might make her help her, basically feel good about herself forever, because she's giving this guy what he don't have and what he never had. And that's a beautiful woman. And a lot of them ain't stupid to know that a lot of dudes, a lot of black men are beauty deprived, and they don't have a lot of a lot of black men don't see super feminine features. So she might want to supply that to the guy forever. That's the reason why a lot of women stay in some of these relationships and it works out. And they have a family, because she knows in his eyes, she will always be number one, which that means high status in his eyes. Some women are okay with just having one dude just put them in high status. Then you have the superficial status, not the mental status, of getting with someone who has money and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. You know what it is. So you have to pick a certain female with a certain mindset. Number 5, you're always going to go into that relationship being 100% leader. They learned how to be feminine through their mom and their dad. And most of the time you're going to come into the relationship having 100% leadership. Even if you make mistakes, you're going to still be the leader. She's not going to take the leadership role from you. She might get mad at some of the things you do, but she still is going to follow you. I've seen tons of dudes mess up back and forth, and their wife still by their side. There's a lot of men out here that are in debt right now, but they have beautiful women by their side, so the debt doesn't matter, and they still follow them. They're not trying to they're not trying to throw their man under the bus. They're not trying to divorce them, because they're good women and they were taught you don't leave your man in crisis. You don't leave your man when he's troubled. The sex. The women of other races know how to perform better sexual actions without being too selfish, right? You'll hear a feminist or a selfish woman who say, "What about me?" But there are women out there, especially other races of women, it was one particular woman that I know who waited 7 years until she had good sex, because her husband, when they got married young, He couldn't provide her with sex. So all she did was use toys for 7 years. Once he was done with his achievements and goals, that's when they start having particular high level sex. This was a Indian dude with an Indian woman. And she waited 7 years for good sex. Also, she waited for him to be good. There's a lot of guys who say when they get with the Asian chicks, a lot of Asian chicks don't know what they're doing in bed, and it makes them feel weird. But at the same time, it makes both of you mesh up, because if you don't know what you're doing, it means that your size doesn't really matter, because y'all have to learn how to make each other happy in the bedroom. It's all about communication. It's not her having these skills where she can take advantage of you and you have to catch up to her, and she get to play with the sex. There's always going to be an eagerness to have sex, because she wants to be able to do it over and over again with the person she's with. So the sex dynamic is 10 times better if you're with another race of chick, because the another race of chick is going to come and serve you based off anything. I have a lot of guys, and a lot of guys that I know that's interracially will be like, I don't want to get too explicit, but the fact is I did this and did that. And I can't believe she let me do that. I'm not a thug. I'm not packing. I'm not this. But she gave everything to me in the bedroom. And she didn't try to turn around and say all this awkward stuff and this selfish stuff. But I actually wanted to give her the pleasure back after she gave me so much. And that's how the dynamics always, most of the time, go with when you go with another race. Like I said, most of the time, roles of tradition. They don't try to act like the guy, and they don't try to switch the traditional roles. They let the man be the man and she's be the woman. They never try to step outside their bounds and do all this other stuff. Number 8, curiosity. Now, if you get with a chick who's actually curious, then that whole level of women who are curious, that's the guys who say that they love black men and stuff like that. A lot of these chicks are right at the curious mindset. So you might be able to get away with saying certain things, not disrespectful things, but kind of awkward things. You can make mistakes of having, bad 2-pump chumps and stuff. The curiosity stage is a good thing and a bad thing, because guess what? When you get with a chick who's curious about a black guy, you have to be a good representative. And there's a lot of bad representative of women, of men who got with women in their curious stage, and they only got with a black guy because they was curious, and the dude messed it up, and he messed it up for the entire race, because she didn't want to experience that ever again. But guess what? Your curiosity, this is that's why SPM is important, to have standards and conduct yourself in a good manner, because you will help other brothers find happiness based off your current actions with this woman, this experience with this woman. You treat her good, she's going to tell other women that black men are this and black men are that. That's what a lot of guys are telling you about how they're looking for brothers and stuff like that, because there's good representation of brothers out there that are showing these women that all of the stuff that you seen on TV was false, fake, and they were just propaganda. Charity. Oh no, money. Number 9, money. Of course. Then you go this the level of the third world country and all this other stuff. Yes, just like every single woman, but they will want to go with you. You might not have a lot of money, but you might have more money than them, and your system, and you come from a better financial system. Yes, they will come. It's best to avoid somebody like this. Charity. You gotta avoid people who are trying to use for charity. And we're going back to the American side. There's a lot of women who would get with black men and marry black men, or other races who will marry black men out of the fact is they feel bad for black men because black men have no options and they don't have good looking wives. A lot of women, just like number 3, a lot of women of other races see that black men are in dire needs of beautiful women. They're like, why these women look like that? Why they screaming at their husband because they can't pull their hair? Why they don't want to get wet? Why they not mountain climbing? Why they don't shut up? Why they destroying stuff? I feel kind of bad that these guys have to deal with these kind of women, and they just jump in the category and say, "Nah, I'm gonna treat this guy better than any of his women," and that keeps a relationship. True, that keeps a relationship going forever. Image. Sometimes there will be a group of women who will love to get with black men because the image fits with the narrative of progressiveness, of them showing that, hey, I'm the one who's gonna show my race that I can be happy with a black man. They're trying to help black men get in a better light than these so-called black women. And you might see these women go to charities and help they support their man. And then, show the image of this guy is good and he's worth something. The women in his race was wrong. He is a good guy. He's not a weirdo. He's not this. So that's the reason why some of them might date you, right? So let's go to another one. The best attributes of dating outside the race. Number 1, less dealings with high levels of dysfunctioning, which I should put less. Less dealings with levels of high dysfunction. No one said you're not going to deal with dysfunction with another group of people, but your dysfunction from dealing with the black race will be 100% more than that. But it will go down. Let me wait. Oh man. So, sorry, I had to put it on the charger. So your risk, your high level risk of dysfunction is going to go down dramatically. You might get with a race of people or a particular background, a female with a background who got 60% dysfunction. Your goal is to get with a chick who got 40% or 30% dysfunction. Anything higher than that, you should have never picked that chick. So, traditional family structure. The thing is that a lot of guys, or black men, ain't used to dealing with women who have a family structure where the father might look at you and see you, and he might know that his daughter likes you. You're not going to be approached by the daughter. You're going to be approached by the father. Also, there's a whole bunch of vetting that they're gonna do for you. They're gonna try to know your whole life. They're gonna try to know you inside and out. They're gonna ask you questions. It's gonna be a whole long interview of you and your life. They want to make sure that their daughter is going to be in the good hands. That's the family structure. Also, the family structure also protects you because if something goes wrong, she does something wrong, they can disown her or they can check her because these women actually care about what their families say. They don't have a dysfunctional background where they don't care what their families say, or they come from a background where they don't have no men, they don't have men in the house. They have a background where they have tons of men, and the men are not used as weapons against other people. They're used as protectors of their women and just the women in their family. Social protections and security. So, what black men don't have, especially the good black men have, is protection and ability to have social protections, right? So, say that as a good black man, you get robbed. The black community don't care. They won't recoup you for what you lost. They would just tell you to buck it up and don't let it spoil all the other people, right? And they would tell you some bull crap, right? So, in another community, they will beat the crap out of the guy in front of you and make sure that everybody else sees that you don't mess with somebody that's a part of their family or part of their social circles. They have your back. You prove to them that you're worth fighting for. There's tons of guys, especially guys that I know that was in Brazil or in some other countries, that tell them if somebody ever does something to you, you just call me and I'll take care of it. The social protections for good black men is better outside of the black community than inside of the black community. A lot of military men tell you straight away that there's a lot of white dudes that will have their back, even off the battlefield, even their friend after they got out the military. They're friends to this day. They have their back more than the black person, even the people in their family. Once you go to another group of people or race or whatever, they will literally, some will give you the shirt off their back. They would treat you better than your so-called own group of people. And you'll have a good security. You just can't mess it up. Because once you get under their social security and their social protection, you gotta obey the rules of that society. You can't mess up. You have to obey. You have to be under the same rules as the people in that protection and security. So if it means that you don't do this and don't do that, you don't do this and don't do that. You don't sleep with somebody else's wife. You don't steal from somebody. You don't roast people in the middle of the street. You don't dress a certain way. You don't cuss people out. You don't bring trouble and drama to people. You don't do this. You don't do that. I have seen it with my own eyes where, some black dudes getting jumped and the people knew them and was like, yo, that's so-and-so. Yo, get that. Yo. And they ran over, beat the crap out of the people that was beating the crap out of the people that was beating up on the dude that they know. And they rescued the dude. And everybody looking like, yo, why are they helping him? Why? Because he was dating their sister. And they grew to like him. That's what your audition for them is. Prove the people wrong that say you're socially awkward, you're weird, and all this other stuff. And usually a lot of guys who do go to another race of people shown that they're not really as socially awkward as people say they are, because then they somehow find a place in another culture or another group of people and they're liked. Sexual satisfaction, we don't need to go there. Financial opportunities. A lot of these people set up, a lot of people, a lot of other races um, set their structure up for them, for their people to never have to beg for jobs, or they set it up where if their people need help that's in their circle, or certain people need help, they won't have to go on GoFundMe. They won't have to go on GoFundMe or anything else like that. You always gonna have an opportunity in their society. So sometimes when you're dealing with some of the women, they might give you an opportunity, and all you have to do is take it and be humble with it too, and don't cause any trouble. Legacy are controlled by men when you date in other races. You get to pass on certain things you want your son to have or your daughter to have, and your wife or girlfriend or wife will let it happen because you are the father. You have legacy control of your kids, and she will nurture that and make sure that she will blend it into their head. A lot of people are never going to talk about the fact that a lot of so-called black moms and black women, even if they have the what's it called, they put stuff in their kids' head and make them weaker or whatever, even when they're together with a black woman and a black man. Dating fail safes and marriage fail safes. So that's come from the family structure. All you got to do is tell their environment that they are messed up. Tell their environment that they did this to you. Tell their environment they slept with somebody in the car. Tell their environment they did this and that, and they will be ostracized for the rest of their life. There's a lot of women in other countries and other cultures that don't have any choice but to date other races of men. They don't even have a choice but to date and stay with black men. This is why you got a lot of Asian women who come from good families, and they in gangs throwing up gang signs and all this other stuff, because they didn't want them, because they messed up, and they made all the whole community look bad. You don't want these women. They already messed up. You want the women that are still in the society. Never go with somebody who is outside of there. That's why the dating fail-safes in other societies are better than a fail-safe in this community. See, a lot of dudes will let you sleep with a thought or marry a thought or do this. A lot of dudes will never tell you that they slept with this girl before you did. A lot of dudes will never give you the heads up in a anonymous text message through anonymous number and say, yeah, I've been banging her, blah 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 blah. She made you this and this. Wait, stay away from her. Don't date her. But in other races, in other cultures, in other backgrounds, they will tell you that this girl is this and this and that, and you date her with your own risk. There's fail safes. A higher percentage of happiness. You have a higher percentage of happiness. That's the reason why a lot of guys never come back. That's the reason why a lot of men who went to Vietnam never came back. That's the reason why a lot of black men went to World War II and never came back. There's a lot of dudes who came from certain wars and never came back. But a lot of these dudes will never talk about that. Better social environments. That goes along with the fail safe. So you got a better social environments where it's a lot of protection. You got things like Singapore, you got things like Japan. You have certain places where they have even the bad stuff with the lynching mobs, but the fact is they still have a big social thing. They deal with things on their own. Better perception. A lot of these other groups know what it's like to have public perception on their side. This is why they don't promote the worst of the worst and they promote the best of the best. And if they can't promote the best of the best, they keep themselves quiet and they create their own so they can push out their best. Quality life improvements. You don't have to worry about a lot of different things, including your health, when you're around another group of people because they want to keep you alive as possible because they love you. Unlike the people in the other community who continue bad habits and they only come and ask how are you when you're on your deathbed, or ask how or act like they care about you at your funeral. Okay. We let's here we go. And I'm gonna keep it deep inside of it again. The best part of dating, there's gonna be a second one. You have better sex. We put it on there. There's less penis shaming because a lot of guys are not even making the so-called cut of. I'll just give you the difference right now because this is me being raw. A lot of some of these dudes don't even have a 4-incher. Most of them have a 3-incher, and the women are not really talking about it. They just like this. They just like it, right? A lot of dudes don't even have. The small percent of dudes have a 2-incher, or a small amount of dudes have a 2-incher and still get women. I mean, I heard, one of my boys when what was it? Was it Taiwan or I forgot what it was. He said that he's not packing and all, but he said the chick told him that he was the biggest that she was with. She told him that there's a lot of guys, and she was making the gestures like, yeah, they like this, they like this, they like this, and he told me, was like, yo, I didn't know that, like, yeah, man, but and then he asked her like, do you be satisfied? She's like, yeah, satisfied, and this and this and that. They don't have the luxury of being thoughts and whores. And that's the best thing about their the no penis shaming. They don't shame the men because they actually need the men to produce in their society. They need the men to care so they can build stuff. Even if it is a third world country, they still need men to be able to be in the background to take care of stuff when stuff need to be taken care of at a ground level. So they're not going to penis shame them, and they're not going to lock them out of the sexual market. They're going to satisfy them even if it doesn't satisfy them. So you might be having men who are working with a 2-incher. You might have men who are working with 3 inches or 4 inches. And that's the largest they can go. And the largest they can go is 5. And you might come along with 6, 7, 8, whatever. And you might be the king. But one thing you don't do is shame men for having something smaller. Don't go around. That's on one of my other lists. Don't go around when you in the security and the protection of this group of people. You don't want to go around being this asshole because you could easily get your ass whipped or even worse. No one likes an arrogant, cocky person. This is why that's why I don't know why guys don't check this, to let these arrogant behind people around you, because they the ones that make black people look bad. A white person can say some arrogant stuff, but he won't say it like in a way where he's like, they're better than you and blah, blah. There's not a lot of white guys that will go in your face and say, I can steal your girl, I can change your whole dynamics, blah, blah, blah. Those racist. But they don't go around saying stuff. I seen guys in this space, I'm going to call names, Keith Lamont. He makes it about, racist and, you're a man, big racist. But if a white guy came in his face right now and say, yo, I had sex with all these women around me and you can't, Oh yeah, yeah, no, I had sex and you try to talk to her and I had sex with her before you. He'll get mad and want to fight him. Like a lot of guys don't like, a lot of dudes don't like the energy they give out. Because if a lot of women, if a lot of white guys automatically told black women and other races of women to stay away from black dudes, though a lot of these, and they give them the score like, yo, you still with this, you gonna have to stay with these dudes. I bet you 9 times out of 10 these dudes would be crying, yeah, I'm the shit, yeah, I'm the shit. These women love me, That BBC shit will go out the window. Your swag and stuff will go out the window. They want to go with somebody who got resources, power, and ability to keep them living. The whole dynamic will change. But a lot of white guys let it slide because they like, okay, I still got a piece of the pie. I don't care. But the shaming doesn't go in like that. Less family drama, less criminal behavior. She knows how to act in public. Now that's a very important thing that a lot of dudes don't understand when you have a female or a girlfriend or whatever you want to call her, is that you can't have your girlfriend making enemies of everybody. You can't have your girlfriend talking trash to everybody she sees. You can't have your girlfriend running around here making enemies of everybody that you see around. The thing about a lot of black women is they use black men as fodder. Did you ever hear, don't you ever hear black women say they gonna get their uncles and their cousins and they this and this and that? They don't know what your background is, or they'll say stuff like, my husband to do this, my husband to beat you up and this and that, even though they started some kind of trauma and trouble. You don't have to worry about that. Because the woman of another race know that you right there. And she won't say anything because she know that you're a man, and she will let you jump in when it's necessary. I seen it happen a few times where dudes just stand around and people are like, oh, why you let your girl do this, man? You should have smacked the shit out of him and blah, blah, blah. And they like, you will never understand. I ain't like that. He didn't touch her. He didn't say nothing. He just screamed at her in her face. But if he would have touched her, yeah, he would have seen what I can do. And it's like, nah, man, you a punk, you this and that. And turn around and say, that's why half of you dudes in jail, because you jumping for females too much and you don't read the situation. But you want to call somebody socially awkward, right? A lot of them know how to act in public. And you need a woman who know how to act in public, because the fact is, based off, depending on how she acts, it might get you more opportunities in life, because people might like her. Usually, sometimes, there are women who want to be friends with your girlfriend or your wife. And then the husband might have you around because you are friends with his wife and give you more opportunities. See, that's the thing that a lot of black men always don't never figure out, that the fact is, the more friendly your girl is and the more friends she can make, the more money she can make and you can make. But a lot of other chicks don't know how to make friends. Spending habits is less. So a lot of women, other races, they don't spend a lot of money like that. They might get digital stuff, they might get all these little things, but the fact is, a lot of them put more money into the house. I have seen groups and groups of people who took 2 or 3 years to build to house improvements. They put more money into their house improvement than they did their style or their car or going out. And then when you see their house compared to black people houses, you like, wow, how much money they have spent? Because they spend money on the right things. Then when they get their home improvements and stuff, then that's when they go spend. But it's never, if your house needs to be fixed or stuff need to be in the house, they never gonna spend their last bit of money on their nails and hair and stuff. They're gonna spend it on a house and you. You're the leader. 8, you still have your hobbies. A lot of other races of women will not bother a man when he's into his hobbies. That's the thing that keeps the relationship fresh. If a guy has his own thing that he's doing, a lot of these other women want to immerse themselves or take over your life and make sure you're just her. And that's the ability to take away what you have going on so you can be her and you can depend on her. So she can break you down however she wants you to break you down. Better children's future. Your kids have a better future. And that's what I talked about with the social environment. These the people around you might not take care of your kids, so-called it takes a village, or they might do watch your kid and learn to love your kid because your kid is cool with them, their kid. But also they will have an interest in seeing your kid do better because they like you. So your kid might get a good job based off the fact that you was a good person. Based off how good you are as a person, your kid might have the opportunities, better opportunities because you was a good person, not a fucked up person like some of these other dudes. Better opportunities, better family background, and higher comfort levels. Now, let's see. Now I'm gonna tell you why some of these women actually get married. So, and this can tell you why, if you could fit in these categories. So a lot of women in other races, they get the image of they build a good image of their boyfriends and husbands, and the guy might look good in pictures, right? So that's why they might go out with him and date him, even though he's not having a lot of money. He might look good in pictures. He might look good to the family, and the family might like him, and she likes him. So sometimes it's an image that that a lot of females and other cultures and other races might do, because it's a part of the image. It's part of the family image. They got to keep that family image up, right? They learn how to be a wife or a girlfriend from their parents. They watch their mom and dad interact with each other. So they know how to be that because they've seen it growing up. They want to grow their family. They want to make it bigger and stronger. A lot of people' whole goal is to marry and not divorce and be having single parents, single moms, or whatever. They want to have strong men and strong women in their family. They want to have family get-togethers. They want to have the entire family. This is why you might run into people who got a big family. They're not dysfunctional. They're not going to jail. You just might see them come together and family get-togethers, right? They want to make it grow. This is the reason why when people come from over here from other countries, they have a good family structure, because their whole point is to grow that small family they have that they came over here with and make it bigger by the end of their child's or the beginning of their child's improvement. They want to make sure that they bring up the right sons and daughters so they can have grandkids, and their grandkids can have grandkids. Not single moms, but whole families. They want to add more value to the family. So sometimes it's about adding value to the family. So this is the whole status thing. So this is why they might not marry you, or might marry a black guy with money, because you bring value to the family. You're bringing a better credibility. There might be a whole family of people who are doctors and lawyers, or there might be a whole family of people who got trades. You have to look into the background of the female that you're getting with to know what she's about. If she has a whole bunch of family members that are working hard and stuff, they will accept you because you work hard as well. And if you're somebody who's above that, and you're white collar, they're gonna accept that even more because you add value to their family. They want to keep you in their family as long as possible or forever because your kids is gonna be just like you because you turned out okay. Money, of course. Sometimes they get with a guy who's rebellious and they don't want to be a part of that family anymore. You know, the rebellious, the hypergamous group of women that's in other races too. They want to get away from bad traditional aspects in their race. So a lot of them will date unordinary guys. You're gonna see that with other races. So yeah. Then you have small sexual sadism and hypergasm, whatever that is, right? So if you look it up, there's a lot of women who actually like being around, who actually like people's pain and sorrow because they mentally messed up, right? But in other cultures and other countries, that has consequences. You can't go around thinking that you can do this to men and men ain't gonna check you. This is the reason why the numbers for putting down groups of the fair sex is a higher number overseas in other countries because a lot of guys don't let women do what they want. They take care of them. They're like, oh no, you not gonna, you ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna do that to us. No. And there's consequences for women getting in the crime. You know, there's women who are. You can go to. I got sources. You know, I can send you to the websites of women who deal with certain dangerous men and all this other. There was a particular female who in Brazil who was dealing with a drug dealer. Let me see, a drug dealer, and she was playing with him. She thought she was in America, so her last picture was her in a bikini, and she was missing for like 3 or 4 days. Her body washed up on the beach, and that bikini, her torso washed up on the beach. She had no head, no legs, no arms, but she had the tattoo, the recognizable tattoo, and that same bikini was on her. See, in other countries and other cultures, you can't get away with as much as you can get away with over here. The H word hypostolia of women being with criminals and stuff, there's a higher price to pay when women get with criminals of other countries. Because when dudes are looking for you, they will find you. They will find a chick, and I mean they will find a chick and take care of her. And if they can't find her, I mean if they can't find you, they can find a chick. And every woman you get with, that's gonna be their life. A lot of women's lives has been down dealing with drug dealers and stuff like that. And it teaches the other women not to go that same path. And status, of course. So let's see. Okay. Let me check. Let me check. Sorry guys, I'm trying to see. Cause I don't got trying to see. Cause I don't want this to go out. Okay. So the negative parts of dating outside the race is life. Your life can be at risk. There's a lot of men, especially some black men, not a lot of black men who try to deal with other races and they got violence. That's the fear mongering of these people trying to put into you. But it happens small percent, but it can. But it ain't highly unlikely. But also, it can cost the woman who deals with you. A lot of religious people might not want their daughters being touched by a black man and none of that stuff. Even not even what is told out in the public that it's a lot of guys, a lot of females who get with white guys. And the jealousy set in is like, oh, you didn't like me, but you like that white guy. And in the lives her life ends because the guy got jealous and like, oh, you wanted to walk around here, but you only date white guys, white foreigners. So a lot of people don't talk about that. They talk about they think it's just the black guys, but a lot of these dudes get jealous. But they want to talk about they want to talk about SYSBM and incels. But a lot of guys from other races, they really can go to the next level, because it ain't no bunch of black dudes out here. Like, let me break from this. There's not a lot of incels going around hunting down a bunch of guys who get women and doing a bodily harm to them. If that was the case, then it would be happening multiple times. You got a bunch of mentally ill people doing stuff, and you're trying to blame it on incels. Family disownment. There's a lot of women who might get disowned by their family members because of them dating a black guy. So, some guys told me straight away that they felt really entirely bad that their wife can't talk to their family. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. But that's the dark side of it. You have social isolation, so you might have to spend more time with your girlfriend or wife than you actually want, because her race might look at her down on her because she's getting with you because of so-called perceptions, right? There's the propaganda that goes with the social isolation, that all these different things they see and they continue to come to you. You're going to have to deal with some of that. You might have to navigate yourself and have patience with people who don't understand you, where they're thinking they can talk to you, yo, man, yo, man, yo, man, and this and this and that. And you might have to correct them, like, I don't talk that way, I don't do this, I don't do that. So it is a sort of tedious process. Unnecessary scamming. You might got a bunch of people, family members, who might come together and ask you for money and this and this and that. So you got to watch out for that too. Unnecessary vetting. You might not, they might not accept you right away, even if you have the credentials. And you have to go through the fact that they don't trust you because they don't know you and they have this propaganda perception of you. So it does get to a grinding part where it's like, okay, do I really love this girl? Do I need to go through this? And some guys, this is the reason why a lot of guys don't want to date the other races, because they don't like being judged by another man. They don't know they don't know how that feels like. Some guys don't mind going through the vetting, and then they're ecstatic to know that this man who vetted them, they're pretty much, their relationship is solid. They're solid with their father-in-law and their mother-in-law and their other family. But a lot of dudes don't like being vetted by by their women's family. Um, Negative perception and double standards. So the double standards, right? So they might, the family might let a white guy in who's a bum, but not let you in, and because you are black, right? So it's that point, right? Um, yeah, that's about it, man. Let's see. So I'm gonna give you another perception. I'm gonna give you an example of a. I'm gonna give you examples of interracial relationships, and I'm gonna tell you the backstory of them. Right. So there was a guy that I know in high school who got with this girl who was Asian. This is her. Shit. I lost it. My bad. This is her. Now, the black dude, I can't find his pictures, but I don't want to put him out there like that. But the guy, he met her in high school. This was the best looking girl he ever got in his entire life. His last girlfriend was a heavyweight. Just say that. The other girls was nothing compared to her, right? It was nothing compared to her. But she gave him a chance. She gave the nerdy black guy a chance. What he was supposed to do was get his stuff together and prove to her that she took the risk. He didn't do it. He stayed immature. He didn't try. And he made every black person look bad. And this is all this is on my list. Her curiosity of being with a black guy. He was the first and last black guy she was with. Now, I can't go to her page, but when her page was open, she was, last time I checked, she was with a white guy. She never went back to black guys because of this one guy who messed up. I was there. I went to school with her and the dude. She tried to give him many chances, and he didn't show her that he was worthy of the chance that she gave him. She put herself on the line of dating a black guy out of curiosity, and she just wanted him to get better. And he didn't. And this is what I was talking about. Now, I'm going to show you instances on the interracial. Oops. No. So this is the gym. I'm gonna give you a little backstory of my gym style, my interracial run-ins. So the girl on the right, no, the girl on the left. The girl on the right is a stuck-up chick. She was with a dude. She was with a Puerto Rican dude. She was real stuck up. She acted like she was too good. This is the gym that I go to. I caught the eye of the girl on the left. When I was going to the gym back in the day. Well, back in when she worked there. She didn't care what I looked like. She liked my motivation. She had curiosity. Why is this guy coming? Why did this dude come in the gym? Because I swiped in. You got to swipe in with your key card, with your barcode key card, right? I come into the gym every day, almost at the same time, all the time. I never was late. She was trying to dance, I think salsa merengue, I think, to try to get my attention. Because I was always focused when I went to the gym to build myself up. And for people who might say I'm lying, I have a video of myself in that same gym, and I have a picture of myself that's in that gym as well. So yeah, you really can't say that I'm lying or making stuff up because also I have a picture around of me in the gym with my shirt off, and that was just me trying to flex by somebody saying that I don't go to the gym, I'm fat. I was like, okay, yeah, I am kind of, I ain't the most tight dude. I'm the most ripped guy, but I'm still in the gym. But my running with them, this is what it was on the category. She had curiosities. And it was up to me to prove that. But I think she already been around the ringer with a black dude because I think she had a Instagram and all she did was hang around black people. So 9 times out of 10, I would have got myself into something that I should have never got myself in. So I made a good call of controlling myself because she was cute, but same time, I had to stay on my goal. And back then, my goal was to make my asthma 10 times better. So I was busting my behind in the gym and outside the gym. And it worked. See this guy right here. So let's look at her. Nope. Stop. Don't want to do that. Stop it. Stop it. A Blasian chick who likes African American entertainment. So she was looking for an identity, and she found the person who she can vibe with the best, and it was him. No, not him. That's her brother. So she was single, very attractive. This is 2019. She into the right here. And then she might have met him the same year. So you see this brother right here, because I don't like to say the word brother, but you see this brother right here, went to Japan, wherever he came from, and found himself a very attractive Blasian. So I was told that interracial couples break up and all this other stuff and this and that, and they don't make them happy and this and that, and dudes go overseas and go to third world countries and stuff. This is a chick in a first world country. Based off her style, based off where she live at, she did pretty well. She did pretty well before she met him. So she met him. 21st birthday to her. She likes being in the pictures with him. I'm trying to show y'all, man. I'm trying to show y'all my list. My list that I made absolutely hits the points of what I'm trying to show y'all. Look, she's proud to be with him. He is not clean cut. None of that. But she's happy to be with this dude. Look, he barely smiles in any pictures. But it's my nigga's birthday. She uses slang. Now, let's see how these two get along.
Bro, get the fuck off me.
You hear them? Bruh, get the F off me. And her, in Japanese, I don't want to butcher it. But look like he met her within a year or so, before she even showed public, or even it took them that short a time to get married. And they have a playful relationship, and he's like, get the F off me. But other societies might call him boring and lame and this and that, but this dude ended up bagging a chick who felt rejected by her society, but she found him. And it didn't take that long for him to put a baby in her. Put a baby in her. In none of his pictures, he's not smiling. But she still liked this and loved this dude. And guess what she didn't do? She didn't go and have a baby and kick him out to the curb because she was raised by a good mom and a dad. Look. Look at this. He doesn't smile. But she still love him. Let's go to another interracial couple. You think that this guy can have his pickings with so-called black women? He's not even, he's considered whatever. I wanted to show you that I have a different taste. This is one of my celebrity crushes overseas. How about this man right here? Normal looking guy. Would you think that women would fall in love with him? They still together. Even though he French, still together. All the pictures, still together. Having fun together. Now this is a more upscale relationship right here. Interracial couples right here. Look at this. Normal guys, normal looking guys who wouldn't fit in. Well, normal looking guy who wouldn't fit in with a so-called black chick. And he's accepted. He doesn't have to be smooth and calm. He doesn't have to wear all these different clothes and shoes. Let's check it. She's pregnant. Wow. Look. She's still with this guy. These women are accepting these guys for who they are. But all this negative stuff, right? All this negative stuff. This is a feminist. Janae. Now, can she rival some of these women like a her? I don't think so. Both of these chicks are pretty much on the same level. They're both feminists. But I bet you she can pull better men and keep her mouth shut better than her. Now let's go to another chick. This is the American Asian chick who end up with a thug and he cheated on her. But look at this dude. And I'm not saying look at this dude, look at this dude. Look. He is not the super handsome guy. But she's happy with him. She's not judging him. He around the family. Everything that hit on my list. This is the same chick as Janae. That's going to keep coming up. Do you think that she can't get a man? You think she can't get a man? Oops. She took her thing down. Wow. Look. Be real. He found happiness. These are the percentage of women who you might can be able to get in a select thing. God damn it. So don't ever get down because the selection that you have, they're not ugly women. They're not fat women. They're not single moms. They are a good selection of women that you might find attractive. So I want to knock the perception out of them, of you having to actually scrape at the bottom to get with other races of women. No. Look at this guy right here. He has a beautiful kid with her. But some people might say that he's too ugly to have a cute kid. She with him with dreads, and she with him without dreads. Look. A feminist right here. She's a Blasian, but she's a feminist. This is the American version of Asian over here, who's a YouTube couple. See, the difference between an American woman who's different race, don't want to show her husband because she doesn't want to share the spotlight with her husband. Well, with her boyfriend or whatever he is. She has next to no pictures with him, except one. Now let's go to his page. He has 1, 2, 3, 4. Compared to her, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. I was wrong. She was showing him love in the beginning, and then eventually she stopped showing him like that. So either she wanted to send signals out that she's single, or she looking for another person. But let's see that. 14, right? Now let's see the interracial couple. Let's see how many pictures they're in together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. 13. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 30, 31 pictures. Now let's see in her profile when she got with him. Now this is in the beginning when they got together. Let's go. Let's go. Her pictures, she don't have a lot of pictures. So let's go. When they start showing themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 pictures. Let's see where's it at? No, we already did them. Let's see, where's it at? The guy that women wouldn't want, what women wouldn't want. Still with her. It's funny that it's crazy being right, man. It's crazy being right. I'm telling you, man. It's not it don't feel good to be right, man. Look. Even a known couple, which I don't like, but Rhea Ripley and her boyfriend. Look. Still together. Look. This is an Indian couple. I think she's Indian. She's Indian. And he got her when she looked good. That's the funny part. He got her when she was skinny. And then she put on some weight. And he stayed with her. Look. But in America, you want to get guys who been with a chick like this who end up giving BJs to a 12-year-old boy, right? Or a chick like this who ran through. But not get with something like this. This is in the UK, the Jessica Town. That what she won't tell you that there's a lot of interracial couples there, a lot of black men going overseas getting women from over there and bringing them back to the UK, but she don't want to talk to you about that, right? Let's see how many pictures they in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Or you want to be with somebody like this, and when you take your own life, she sleep with your classmate, and then she travels over to Comic-Con to sleep with a dude and shows her behind, but was treating you like trash when you was alive. And have all these pictures of her behind all over the thing while she have you here. Funny. Comparison, contrast, compare. Now I want to show you the difference between the women overseas and the women here. She has 156,000 followers, right? So she has less because she's normal. She has less. She's in Japan. Let's see her. Japan, she barely has any. Janae, 20, because the thirst in this country. She's a star. She doesn't have a lot of followers. So let me get you to another example. Miss Halea Haddad. Now let's see this so-called origin story of Halea Haddad. Would you date a OnlyFans? Cop that PS3. Escort as a P-star gives her boyfriend $22,000 on his birthday. Stand down with her.
Ready? Oh, shit. Okay, you gotta make sure you read everything. It says to hubby. Okay. What does it say?
This is what women do over here. They dominate control over you. So I'm going to tell you how this little story ends, but keep watching the video, guys.
Okay, then okay, hold on. What is that? Open it. Okay. Hold on. Wait, you gotta open them. You got. What's the reason?
For loving me unconditionally.
No, and then open it.
So she rewarded him for loving her, even though she's a thought, and she thought she would give him a reward. But it was all a big whole. It was all a big plan to trap him and make him feel comfortable. She did all this masterfully. I applaud her, because any other dude would think that she actually loved this guy. But I'm gonna show you really how I'm gonna really show you how the show ends. But let's go again.
Oh shit! How much is in there? Ooh. That's 1,000. And then second reason. And it's 20 reasons in there? 22 reasons. God damn.
For supporting. You can not do this right now. Like, this shit's unreal.
Come on, go ahead, man.
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on, man. Open it.
An ex-gang member. See, this is the game they play with guys by showering them with actual what MOT said? What MOT said? With basic treatment. And a lot of these dudes, I heard somebody say, they making fun of guys saying, stick up, she put a draw in my drink. But you don't know how many of these dudes, even the guys who get women, how bad they get treated and how messed up it is to deal with these women. Even the small amount of good treatment makes these guys run to tears. But a lot of these women use this to their advantage because they know the environment is messed up, and if they treat one guy real good, she can fool him.
That's another 1,000.
Funny, and you can see the power dynamic. She is talking to him like a child. That's another 1,000. Open it up. She's proud of herself. This is the reason why she got it on film. But the fact is, it makes her look so stupid. And this this whole thing looks stupid. And I'm gonna show you this, guy. I can't wait to show you this, man.
Bless you, baby. You're welcome. I told you I was gonna zoom on that ugly cry.
Me and my family. Accepting all the craziness that I come with. It's always making sure I'm okay. her best things, her family and friends, for always understanding me and trying to understand anything I'm going through. For just being here even when I'm not being a good girlfriend. For making...
She buttered him up because the fact is it was all about her. This is what American relationships is. This is what that dude was trying to tell me about black relationships, right? You know, yeah, man, you know, there's a lot of black relationships out here, man, with the black women and red wine. This is the kind of games they pull on guys out here, man. They make them feel like this, and then, you know, the more stuff they give you, the more they gonna take from you. Because they think they own you when they give you something.
Realize what your death is. For being mine.
Funny, she said for being mine, but watch this.
For truly caring. For helping me become a better person.
For being a better person. She wrote this from like a coffee pot, man, because, you know, that transformation, it sure, it changed in a couple months. You know, all this was fake. All this was for clout. It was for clout, man.
For seeing past the beard, for helping me with constant. For understanding I don't mean every hurtful thing I say. For being you, existing, I don't care what I do without you. I love you, nigga. I love you too, man.
So he got a little sugar in his tank. Oh yeah, he got a little sugar in his tank, but guess what? You know, women, especially in America, think that the bigger you are, the more manlier you are. So, you know, he's packing a big steel, right? And it kept her along for a couple months. They was together all of 2019 and a little bit of 20, and then you'll see what I'm talking about, man.
I had to go to 2 different banks. They told me
happy birthday, bro. That's live, nigga.
Go ahead. Open the wall. That's $22,000. That is yours. That is all yours. Yeah, spend it.
22,000 was his with entrance, because she wanted that money back in full. She wanted that money back because she's like, I gave you $22,000 and I get to take your, I mean, ooh, my bad. Sorry guys. I don't mean to spoil I don't mean to spoil it. I don't mean to spoil it, guys.
Wisely save it, have do what you want. That is all yours.
That's dope.
I told you, you're gonna have to try to top me after this. You know?
Good luck, nigga. Good luck, really.
Here, I'll help you with some of these. Is that crying? Yes, he's crying. It's a happy tear.
It's a happy cry.
Happy cry. Here's another one, babe.
Damn.
You feel better? That's all yours, though. Like, for real.
Baby's happy.
I know.
See, real genuine women don't really do stuff for social media. They do it offline. There's no point of actually doing this, because this basically devalued him right here, because the chick had to give him a lot of money, and a lot of guys is bigging him up. But I want to see when they gonna big him up after I reveal the big reveal. Let's go.
Why is it crying?
It's just happy tears.
This is May 19th, 2020. 2020, the worst year. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. But let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Let's count. Let's count. Let's go. Let's count, right? May, right? June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. 11 months their relationship last. Also, she had a kid with him. And then after she had a kid, she kicked him out. It's on Reddit. And it's on her timeline. Let's go. He better not let this be out the house. They broke up after she had the kid. Now she hopping on planes, flying to F people. When dumb niggas, when dumb N-words think their dick is gonna control women. Hey man, hey dudes, hey guys. A big penis has never controlled these women. It just helped them with more options. Guess what? It only controlled her for about 8 months and then put a baby in her. And when she got the power over you to have your kid, she kicked your ass to the curb. And guess what she did to him? She made him create a OnlyFans and then made sure that, guess what? She was the only one that he shot with, not other women. And then when they broke up, she said, give me my OnlyFans. And she said, give me my Twitter. He don't have a Twitter or he don't have an Instagram. I mean, he don't have a Twitter, an Instagram, or a OnlyFans because she used him as a cool down. She used him as a way to make her feel like she wanted a boyfriend and she wanted to know what a boyfriend feels like. And she wanted to know what it's like to be a mom. Guess what? Now she has a mom. I told you in my other video, this is what these women are doing. The trap that MOT talks about. She gave him money, hyped him up, and gave him so much money. She was the reason why he kept getting money, and he was spending it with her. Guess what? She pulled it under the rug, and he don't have nothing. She pulled the move that women say men do. Guess what? She took everything from him, even his child. This is why you don't have kids with these women over here. This is an example. Let's go to the timeline right now. There's women over here who said BBC only, right? But guess what? My rent is due May 1st. I haven't been able to work all month. I could use some help because I really don't have any type of money. Oh, whoa, wait. I hate being desperate. My rent. You better... A poll. Why would men are so obsessed with penis size? Because you chicks are obsessed with it. Let's go. My friends, I'm going to quit mainstream P. I try to get into it and has nothing. It ruined my mental health. While I love my industry, I hope I am not quick to handle being informed in this stage of my life. Mind you, if you look at Honey Gold right now, she shaved her head off. These women are dysfunctional and they are on their last legs. I don't want to be dragged in with these people. Okay? But let's go to Aaliyah. Oh, my fault. The Chloe chick. She doing her thought run now. She trying to get as much thought energy as possible from every dude. I got no sympathy. This chick right here got mad at the dude who made fun of her situation in her life. But she turns around and says she's a savage. I think she did cost the dude his job. There's no reason to go back and forth with anybody on on Twitter because they on their side. Like MOT said, shout out to him. Stop going into places where they got power at. Take away their power by leaving them alone. And treat them like they treated you. This is why SYSBM is saving brothers, because women like this can sit back and say she has no sympathy for anybody, but then when people talk and clown her, she want everybody to cry for her. These are the women over here in this country. Don't be fooled. She's cute, but she's Americanized. Now, This is Aaliyah Hadid in April 2021. 10 shoots lined up for the rest of the month. Guess what? I'm shooting. Oh, she want to be a thotna again. She couldn't hold in her thotness. She didn't like being with one dude. Remember, she gave this dude $22,000, but it was worth fooling him. She paid him to make sure they fool him. So that dumb piece of shit Super Sly, remember, he said, why don't you get with a woman with a high status and you don't have to worry about no. That's the reason why you have to worry about, because every time a woman gives you something or do something for you, she wants more out of that relationship. She don't want the basic things. She want more. She think just because she gave him money, she owned him. And she did, because she kept giving him money and money and money, and he gave her a kid. He got too comfortable and she took it away, including his kid. At least he got his one kid, but he has another kid that he probably would never see. Also, know that he had a kid with this chick who's out here doing everything. She's embarrassing her kid, and she embarrassing him for even dealing with her. And N-word's mad at Aaliyah Hadid, but don't know. Maybe they need to. She need to F off them, BJ them to get over the heartbreak. Oh wow, here we go tonight. I need some. Who's in LA? Mind you, this is a woman who just had a kid and just broke up with a man that she was in a relationship with for a year. Officially effing everyone that speaks to me. Oh, wow. This is the mom. This is a mom of a newly born kid. But I'm supposed to deal with these type of people. I'm supposed to make a woman like this the mother of my child. Or one of these other flunkies who agree with her. Come on, man. Aaliyah Hadid is a true generation talent. Had a kid and came back to the game applying pressure. Put respect on her name. She underrated. Love her so much. These are the people in this environment that encourage these women. And then when stuff end up bad, they the same ones who disappear and ghost. Aaliyah Hadid already back in the game after giving birth like Candace Parker. I made my point, man. I made it in multiple variations with the list, with the pictures, examples, with the example of what you have over here. Yes, there are negatives of dating women, but the negatives are less negatives than dating women over here. I'm going to show you the percentage again, boy. The women here are 100% negative in every single category. You have kids with them, 100% negative. You sleep with them, you can get Me Too'd. Dating them, they play around with you, sleep with other people. You're not winning in this environment. It's 100% you're going to lose. These dating coaches are not going to tell you. You're going to be lost in the sauce all the time. You are at a negative. Now, for people who say that there's a small percentage chance of women in this country that are still good, you better make it clear who they are, and you better be wary and you better make sure that she isn't one of these chicks and listen to these chicks or even like none of these chicks' pages. If you see a glimpse of what these chicks is, and if you have no choice but to date a chick over here, watch your back, because it's always over here 100%. But if you do date a good chick over here, it's not 100% no more. It's about 86%. If you get a really good one, 60%. The best you can do here is 50%. Oops. 50%. That's all you can get. Overseas, your percentage, especially dating, and casual and everything. The lowest, the best you can get overseas is a 40%. No, the best you can get is a 32%. And if you at your best, 20%. You're never going to get to 10. It's rare that a lot of people get to 10% of the bull crap. But the fact is, it's a shithole. This dating scene is a shithole. I think I'm gonna make a video about masters at hobbies, and I'm gonna see if anybody wants to have that video, because I'm gonna make a video of, like, people mastering their hobbies and being a master of your own world. Even if you have to be alone, just be a master of it, man. But yeah, man, it's about what? That's like 1 hour and 50-minute video, man. I had to get a lot off my chest because I didn't make videos in a long time, so I'm probably gonna make this video. I'm probably gonna charge up and make that video about people who master the things they love and they enjoy and how it feels. But that can fix the situation of all the negative stuff of that, because the fact is, there are negatives. You will struggle, but the struggle is worth it when you date another race, because your struggle is going to be your struggle when you date somebody over in another race or even overseas. It's going to be rewarded with what you want. Over here, they're never going to give you what you want. They're never going to give you what you're worth and what you work for. When you do that, that's the thing. Other societies, environments reward their men for being productive and being good and being out of whatever. They don't tell them that they are too ugly to get a woman. They don't tell them that they're too small to get a woman. They create the women that fits that person's mentality, physical body, and background. And sometimes the woman is wandering around and she just looking for a guy. And the examples I showed you, that's it, man. Do what you want, man. But the fact is, don't say that. Oh shit, that's the other phone. Don't say that nobody never talked about the negatives, because I broke down the negatives as well. But the negatives are not as severe as the negatives over here. It's not even close. So yes, there are negatives, they are struggles, but the fact is, the struggle's gonna make you better. And you ask anybody, ask Kitagakari Jones, struggles dating. Ask Sigma Jones, the struggle dating. Ask Mad Bus Driver. Ask any of the brothers who dating women overseas or dating women from another culture or another race. Ask them about the struggles they get before they got to their females. All of us got struggles. It's what you turn into or who you become after you become. Okay, let me start over, man, because I'm trying to make it fast. It's after you struggle, it's who you are after you struggle that's going to build you to who you're going to get, who you want to get. Because the fact is that a lot of guys, it might be easy, but you always got to be warned if it's too easy. Everything in life takes a little work. But once it takes that small bit of work and you get what you want, man, just know all the stuff that you had to deal with, especially with these people over here telling you lame and loser and this and that, and your friends turn on you and stuff, you gonna win in the end. And they gonna lose. Ask anybody how it feels to not be in certain situations that they see the people who talked about them that are not in. Guys going to jail, seeing people get whatever, doing all this looting and rioting, all these people bitching and complaining, blah, 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 blah. Never let them shame you about sex, and never let them shame you about penis size, because guess what? In 50 years, they couldn't control these women with the BBC. So don't let them try to control, don't let them tell you that they can please a woman better than you, because guess what? All they can do is please her, but they can't change her. You, with the lesser so-called BBC, or the guy who's smaller than him, can change their women faster and anywhere, because they got traditions. They don't give a hell about the bedroom. They care about outside the bedroom. And guess what? The women have to accept whatever they have. Don't let anybody say, "Ooh, you gonna be with in a relationship. You gonna be in a relationship," because if you choose not to be in a relationship, you don't have to. But don't go around. And there's one dude in this space that I don't like. He coming at SYSBM. He got his little sextile collection. Guess what, dog? Nobody want to be like you. Stop talking shit about guys and telling them that they part of the problem and talking about the in-between, because guess what? Dude, you want to be on the island by yourself, okay. We all can do what we think we should do. We don't have to go in your direction, because nobody insulting you. This is the reason why the old buddy's views are going down. Not because he took off, it's because he's going against traveling SYSBM now. And he's like, "Oh yeah, man, these guys gotta stop. They think they got a safe haven." Get your negative shit out of here, man. We all can execute our ways that what we want to think is right. We don't have to go your way, and you don't have to go my way. You don't have to insult SYSBM. And we don't have to insult Marlboro Man bullshit. Leave people alone. We're on the same side. We just on the different variations. That's why we supposed to treat each other. I don't agree with certain other people, but if they're doing something different and they're trying to get as many men out of the situation as possible, I agree with them. But I'm not gonna shame them. I'm not gonna talk down to them. Yeah, man, that's about it, man.